Da, 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 da. Even what's in I no do. There we go. All my life no be smarting. Remember last Christmas, Santa Claus gave me the glizzy with the switchback. There we go. Yo, can we hear me? Can we see me? Are we good? Hey, Cosmin. Oh, thanks for the gift. Appreciate that. How we doing, guys? What's up? I am exhausted. And I shouldn't be here, but I told you guys yesterday I'd be here today, so here I am. I can't be here long, but fuck it. We are going to chop up game as much as we possibly can for the next, I want to say 30 minutes. Let's see if we can get to an hour. But no, I mean, I'll probably get to an hour. But what's going on, guys? How we doing? All right, Perfilo is first today. Look at that. How you doing, Cosmin? Thanks again for the gift. Sammy is not first. Sammy is third. Nep is fourth. Okay. I see Will Deluxe. Wagwan, brother. I deserve to be, I don't know, mod or in the group. You want to be in the group or a mod type shit. You have put in a lot of work. Let my mods come in and, you know, judge your ethic here. Because, again, I always leave all that decision making to my mods. Let's see what's going on with that. Dark game? Probably not. Too exhausted for that. You gave insane info yesterday, game Bible literacy. Yeah, I did. Try to do that again today. I'm always doing that whenever I'm on here. You kept your word and showed up. Hey, I try to be a man of my word, you know. It's not always possible, but 99.9% of the time, I try to be a man of my word. You feel me? Do you see characters that fight to protect the innocent as providers? No, not necessarily. If they're willing to go through the hardship of fighting for someone else or just fighting in general, then more than likely they are a protector type. I mean, that's quite literally the definition of protection, right? Where I would call them provider types are the ones that try to pretend like they fight for the innocent. That's a very big one. You see people that try to have a moral superiority type of thing and position themselves as someone that's in the position to, you know, protect those that are less privileged than them. But in reality, they're just doing it to posterize, you know? Those guys are usually the provider types because when you strip them of their power, they no longer have the willingness to protect. And the protector types are protector types because even when they don't have the power to protect, they're still going to find a way to do it, right? If you always need some form of power or leverage in order to do something or take a risk, then you're essentially a bitch. That's the definition of a bitch. A bitch is someone that needs leverage. You know, when you got balls, you don't need leverage. You just need the balls, you know. Or Provider Gold, Starlight, Superman, Mother's Milk. Okay, so Mother's Milk wants to protect and provide for himself and his family. That's dope. Starlight wants to protect her boyfriend, Huey, right? That's dope. And again, she's willing to do that. Then again, she does also have superpowers. So I don't know how willing she would be to protect Huey if for whatever reason her powers were to, you know, fade or fail her. Superman, the same thing. Now, Superman is different though. Superman, I would say, there's been instances of him not having his powers anymore and he's still willing to protect the innocent. That's a fucking dope G. Compare that to like someone like Spider-Man. I've always said Spider-Man is a provider type. Motherfuckers don't believe me when I say it. Spider-Man, the entirety of the second Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire was him losing his powers and giving up being Spider-Man. Literally, that's what that entire movie is, and then him slowly working his way back psychologically to getting his powers back, and then being able to use those powers to protect. The moment he found out he can't sling a web anymore, Spider-Man is done. He throws the entire costume in the trash. Right? So is he really a protector type if he can only do the protecting when he has the power to protect, as opposed to someone who's willing to be disagreeable and take risk even when they don't have powers? Like a Mirio Togata. Shout out to Lemillion. Any of you that watch anime, you know My Hero Academia. That man lost his powers mid-battle. Did he stop fighting? Fuck no. Still risked his life to save Eri. That's a protector type. That's like, protector type right there. That's exactly what you're looking for. And I'm also from a different country. That's fine. It's 2 a.m. where you are. Damn. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you doing that for me, by the way. For real. Funny enough, I was watching your last live stream on YouTube. Anyway, how far, Jace? I'm doing good, man. What's going on, Dami? Is that short for Dami Lola? How you doing, man? What's going on? Alpha, what's in this up? Kino Shele. You know, Kedu. Turn 21 now. What are realistic goals for a game I can make this year? You're 21. I want you to hit just 3 major goals, right? Have a relationship that lasts longer than 3 months with a lady over the age of 25. That's 1. Attractive, of course. That's very important. 2, make sure you do at least 1 approach a day for the rest of the year. And 3, make sure you get to 100 matches on any dating platform of your choice. Well, it depends on what city you're in. That might be a bit more difficult than others, but anywhere from 50 to 100 is fine for most cities, you know. I hit those 3 points and you should be fine. And again, the best thing about all 3 of those goals, they should be able, they're things you should naturally do in the background. They don't have to take up a massive portion of your life. Like literally about an hour's worth of work a day combined and you're fine, you know. And have fun with it. Uni or certificates, like 3 years uni or 4-year certificate in 1 year. I don't know which one will get you faster to what you're trying to do, because it's all about what you're trying to do. Don't think about university or the certificate you get or the accreditation or anything like that, the degree, as the point. The point of having a degree, last I checked, is having leverage in the marketplace, right? Is to be able to say, I studied this at this particular school, I can do this, at least that's the assumption. Allow this to be the reason I should get compensated at a certain level to do a certain task or service. That's what a degree or a certificate is for. So which one is going to be better for you in terms of what you're trying to ultimately achieve? I don't know what that is. Maybe you want to give me more information about that. But for the most part, you want to get the leverage that helps you get what you want, the way you want to get it. You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on, Oscar? How you doing, man? I ran into a chick I used to know, and we went out. She said she doesn't like her man, but won't leave him. I'm guessing, is that what she said? But she was saying, well, we can't be together even though I ain't bring it up. Oh, that's just her trying to think about that, like how we tease girls. This girl's teasing us, right? It's trying to shut off the possibility of a future partnership in the present. And again, that's just her way of trying to get you to want it more. What I would do at that point is just agree and exaggerate. Like, oh, hell yeah, you're very correct about that. We would tear each other apart. We only work as a fling, a cool 2 or 3 month fling, and then we should be done. Honestly, we should not try to go for anything more than that. Right? What you'll see happen there, which is always ironic, is that they end up going, "What the fuck? Why?" Right? So it's so funny when you tell them you want it, they tell you they don't want it. When you tell them you don't want it, all of a sudden they want it. Right? It's women 101. Door-to-door sales agents are really somehow protectors if they F you for their best interest. If they're good at it, there's door-to-door salesmen that suck at it, and those ones don't. They suck at it precisely because they don't have balls. That's why they don't have success with it, right? This workmate was peeping, looking a bit too much, but didn't know what to say. Never chatted to her. I was surrounded, explaining stuff to like 10 people in the context. She was a few meters away. Why did you even notice her? You should have just been focused completely on explaining your thing. And just allow her to observe you doing that, because I can tell you why she was looking at you. She was looking at you because you were triggering one of the attraction switches, right? You were firing it, and that's the leader of men. Whenever women notice that you're the kind of guy that other men respect and listen to, instant attraction, right? Or at the very least, curiosity. At the very least, curiosity. But yeah, that makes sense. And you don't have to talk to her. That's the best part. You don't have to. It's a warm approach situation. You do not have to talk to her. At some point, she'll find an excuse or a reason to talk to you. Because again, you're the guy to get with. And she knows that. So don't stress yourself. Let her come to you. Can you say we are really in control of ourselves when we do a lot of things subconsciously? Speaking is a good example. Okay, yes, we are completely in control of ourselves subconscious or the subconscious mind is something that we have control over. We can influence our subconscious mind. All our subconscious mind is an automatic. Think of it like almost like your own personal AI. That's essentially what the automatic mind is. The subconscious mind. It's there working for you in the background without any physical or manual input from yourself. But it's still something that is within your control. It's something you can program, right? Like half of self-help and self-improvement is just programming and reprogramming your subconscious. So it's something well within your control. If you choose to not program your subconscious or allow someone else to program your subconscious, that's on you. But you have to realize that the control of your subconscious is ultimately something you have power over, all right? NY Knicks 2025 champs. Don't give a shit. Don't care. I'm not a basketball person. Let's see. We thank goodness. Dami Larry. Okay. I'll be the name. Dami Larry. How you doing, Dami? How you doing, baby? Hey, Jason, don't be angry. You are way better than most Red Bull coaches, but the best you at aesthetic, like YouTube video quality. To me, it's kind of disturbing because they have no knowledge. It's only superficial. I understand that. I'm not offended at all. I get that. In terms of aesthetics, they're really good. And honestly, a lot better than me. I'll never claim to be like the best guy at content creating. I have to get on my content creating shit because, I'm getting to the point now where it's becoming necessary. But for the most part, I am really like a pickup scientist. I know that name sounds goofy to a lot of people, but this is what I do. The content creation part for me, at least, is the secondary. It's just the method through which I propagate the message. But the message is what matters to me. All right, that's why I focus more on the message than the actual. So what you're seeing is just two different kinds of people with two different kinds of focus and priorities. One guy cares more about the quality of the content and how good things look and all that good stuff. I care more about the quality of the message. And I'd like to think that from the sound of it, you can tell, right? It's very clear I spend a lot of time figuring out what the fuck I know, testing it, experimenting with it, figuring out the kind of results other people can get, helping others to experiment with it and test it, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about before I bring it to you guys. That's where the bulk of my time goes in, not editing videos or filming or anything like that, I try to keep that part of it as simple, as streamlined as possible. But don't worry, I do understand the value of having both, right? It's like, I understand like the hard work versus talent argument. It's better to have both. You don't want to be the talented guy that's lazy. You don't want to be the guy that's hardworking but with no talent. You want to be the guy that has both. The Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans of the world. So yeah, for sure. As good as the message is getting, and it's better than anyone else's out there, to be honest, I do intend for the quality around it and the method to propagate the message to be better. Don't worry about that. I got it. Let's see. Would snaking or betraying people be a protective trait since it's selfish? How is it spineless? Okay, it depends on the context. Snaking or, fucking people over for the sake of your own selfish endeavor is one thing. Snaking or betraying people for the sake of saving your own skin or self-preservation, that's what makes you a pussy. That's what makes you a provider type, right? It's the context within it that matters the most, and the righteousness you have while doing it. Because even the person that snakes others for his own personal benefit, he's not gonna do it in like a backhanded sort of way. He's gonna fuck you over, but he's gonna do it from the front. It's gonna be missionary, as opposed to the guy who tries to go like the roundabout way. He doesn't want you to find out that he snaked you, shit like that. Real protective types will fuck you over and tell you they're fucking you over. Right, so just something to keep in mind. It's more on almost blaming and hating women while you're the best. It's not gaming women. Type shit. I know I'm the best. Thank you for reminding me, of course, but I know that. But don't worry, the message and everything else will come together nice and smooth. Do we use our conscious mind to put things in our subconscious, like learning game, for example? Yes. To consciously understand the information is one thing. When you begin to actually use the information correctly is when you impart it into your subconscious. And you have to do that through conscious means, right? repetition is one of the laws to do that, right? Repetition is the law of deep and lasting impression, as they say. You're repeating it to yourself on your conscious mind. You understand it enough in your conscious mind, which is why you can repeat it. But the repetition itself is what makes it seep into the subconscious. You feel me? So that's how it works. That's the relationship you have between your subconscious and conscious mind. We have many methods for seeping things into your subconscious. There's meditation, there's hypnosis, all these different things. But ultimately, they're all doing the same thing, which is helping you to go into your subconscious a lot better. Let's see. Don't even dare to interact with people. I got something that's funny. Jace, base, Zace, indeed. Jace need to write book and make videos. I'm already making videos. I'm already writing books. Well, book. I like to really take my time with the stuff I put out, right? So, your boy, again, this is why the message is so good, because I give a fuck about it. So, because I go back in my drafts and I rearrange stuff and I reorder stuff and I explain stuff a little harder and deeper and wider, and I care about the message, guys. Don't worry about that. Allow the front part stuff to come together the way it will. We're glad you're here. Thank you, Mexicans. I appreciate that. I caught someone. Shit, I do that by accident most times, to be honest. I don't mean to take people's girls, man. And I usually don't know that the girl has a boyfriend. It just happens. Like this. That's just what comes with it. Because your knowledge can't be lost like that on every topic, Bible game. Don't worry. That's why all these lives are going on YouTube. And by the way, hey YouTube, how you doing? Moments I got the level of confidence unworldly for no reason, just for a few minutes. How? What moments are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, you just have spurts of confidence? Is that what you're trying to say? Like, for some reason, you just have a lot of confidence? Usually, it'll be as a result of something that happened before that point. You might have had some kind of, without you realizing, positive reinforcement. It can't happen that way. How to obtain talent. That in itself is not something you obtain. Like, if you want to know how talent is obtained, it happens usually before birth. I can go into like the nitty gritty spiritual side of things, but yeah, that's like, it's deep shit. Talents and gifts are things you're born with. You're given before you're born, right? The hard work is what helps you expose how much talent you actually have in whatever area. You don't really find out you're talented in something or around something until you've practiced it long enough to find out, like, oh, okay, I'm actually really good at this, right? Beginner's luck is not really real because it's not consistent, but for the most part, yeah, talent is something you have to find out for yourself. Motherfuckers don't really know that they're good at playing piano until they start playing piano and realizing even the most complex concepts for playing piano is like, it comes easy to them. It's like, oh, I'm really good at this. It'll happen like that. Like, how do you think I got with game? It's like, okay, this is cool. This is awesome. Have my little, like tons and tons and tons of rejections right in the beginning. And then it's like, I'm really good at this stuff, aren't I? By the time I started comparing myself, I was like intermediate. Started comparing myself with other people around my level, and I'm like, the things they struggle with, I got past really easy. Might have something here. That's how it works. Texting a good-looking 35-year-old right now. I got from Cold Approach. If that goes well, I got the first goal. Yes, let's go. Is it your responsibility to change a person's perception of you? No, not really. I mean, you can if you want to, but I think of that more like a game I play from time to time. But I really would advise most people do not even try to play that game. It is not your business at all how people view you. It really isn't. It's not your business at all. If at all I try to change people's perception, it'll be around an idea, not me. I don't care what the fuck they think about me. And usually, what changes people's perception of you anyway is the idea of you they have in their head and how differently they begin to view that idea, right? So, if anything, you want to make sure that the ideas you put forth in the world, if you do care about the message you're putting out, is digestible enough for most people, or the people you're speaking to anyway, to be able to, absorb some kind of value from. But like the perception of yourself, like your actual person, how they view you, how they see you, what they think about you, doesn't fucking matter, dude. First of all, not to sound condescending, but most people, in my view, most people's opinions of stuff just don't fucking matter. Because like what the Bible says, remove the log in your eye before you remove the speck in your neighbor's eye. I live by that very strongly, and I not only keep myself and hold myself to that standard, I hold everybody else to that standard. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me about myself when what you are is something you're not even proud of, and I'm proud of me. Most people are such bad decision makers that they're living in hell. They're miserable with their lives. And ironically enough, those are the people that are the most critical of others. They're the people that choose to have the wrong or negative perception of others. And of course they do, because their life is shit. They feel shit about themselves. How could they possibly believe that you think of yourself as great or awesome or happy? That's not something they resonate with. Right, so trying to change those people's minds is such a fucking waste of time. Not to mention, a lot of them is just the demon imparted. It's a spiritual thing. They got demons hovering over them. You're not gonna change their mind by giving them better information about you. That requires like fasting and prayer. That's a different thing entirely. You know. So I don't give a shit. Neither should you. Example. People think I'm too laid back till they see me in action. I'm curious because it gets annoying a tad. Laid back until they see you in action. Why does it matter if they see you as laid back? Like, what is the consequence you're trying to run away from when you're trying to be seen as more active? What's that about? You know, because a lot of it is just ego, right? It's just you trying to fulfill in your mind your own fantasy of how you want other people to view you, but it's a trap. It really is a trap. Like, you don't want to fall into that. Who cares how they view you? Who cares if they can only find out amazing things about you when you demonstrate those amazing things? Like, that's life, dude. That's how life works. And you just got to be patient enough to let them find out that you're actually the shit, and forgive themselves for not knowing any better at first. It's okay. It's hilarious to listen to. Shout out to you. What's going on, Zay? Do you have a series on relative value demonstration and transaction? Not a series, of course. That's what the interview at this point is what is all about. I have a bunch of things in there talking about tension, value, and the fundamental laws of the game, right? So, especially with like transactional relationships, or like just the way value works and the distribution of that, it's all in there. What's the L necklace stand for? Oh no, it's not an L, it's a J actually. I know for you guys it's an L because everything is like inverse, but for me it's a J. This is a J, and I'm sure you guys know why. Because I love myself. You should see my ring. Shit. How do you personally guard your eye or ear gates? I don't think about it like guarding them. I think about it more like flooding them with the things you want. Right? If you're too busy doing the right thing, you'll have no time or space to do the wrong thing. Right? That's the best way to think about it. Don't focus your mind on anything that you believe will bring your spirit down or will damage you in any way. Focus only on him type shit, you know? When I found your channel, I hid it like a gold mine, but after a while I realized people can't handle the truth. Yeah, that's funny you said that, because someone said that to me very recently too on IG, like I think 3 or 4 days ago. But yeah, they were like, I've been keeping you like about my little secret. I always find that funny. But yeah, I understand it though. And then you realize, even if you tell people about me, they too now have to go through a bit of a transformation in their thinking to even accept what the fuck I'm saying. And then it's like, oh, there's no need to hide it, because people are gonna have a hard time accepting the message anyway, right? So it's all good, baby. I forgive you. I told her I don't, and followed her back, and she didn't, but still says hi to me at work every time. What are we talking about? Oh, the girl? Cool. She'll say hi to you. If you want to move things forward from there, you can. Don't complicate it, okay? How do you influence your girl to stop an undecidable behavior without coming across controlling? Undecidable behavior. Interesting. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Are you talking about undesirable behavior? Because I'll assume that's what you're talking about. If we're talking about stopping a girl from doing something undesirable, it's very simple. I always tell you guys, the first step is to make sure that you're actually that guy in her life. It is almost impossible or completely useless and a waste of time to try to get a girl to do something for you or to make sacrifices for you if in her mind you're not worth making those sacrifices for. So first step, make sure you're that guy. Second step, once you've achieved that first step, tell her. Literally be like, that right there, don't like it, get rid of it. That's stupid. And then this is another good thing you should do. Make sure you explain to her why her doing that destroys the relationship you have with her. But explain it not from a point of view of, I don't like it. Explain it from a point of view of, look how much damage you're doing to us when you do that. Right? There's one thing I've been able to do with my girls. It's very fucking brilliant. I always relate everything back to the way I feel about them, how much I'll love them, how much I won't love them if they do certain things, and the way we look to other people in terms of like our status, our social status. The way they behave is a reflection of me, right? And this is something I've been able to really crack into them. Like, listen, anything you do comes back on me. So I have to care about you and your actions almost like they're mine. So you can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, because you're not just so-and-so, you're Jason's girlfriend. Keep that in mind. And I have to conduct myself in the same way. How would you feel if I did such and such and such, and everyone is like, oh, that's so-and-so's boyfriend? Type shit, right? So if you explain it like that, it usually does the trick. That and a lot of positive reinforcement. What's the difference between sexual tension and tension? Some you say you use one term and sometimes you use the other. They're the same thing. One is just more specific to the moment. So it's all tension. Sexual tension, initial tension, anxiety, fear, anticipation. It's all tension, right? What makes it sexual tension is the way the tension is created or the tool that is used to create the tension. If the tension directly comes from some kind of sexual advance that is made or some kind of possibility of sex that is put on the table, then it becomes sexual tension. Like, you can create tension with a girl by making fun of her Crocs or her earrings or her dress or her hair. You can create tension doing that. But it becomes specifically sexual tension when you make fun or say something a little more risque that is pointing towards sex. So telling her that you find her attractive because she has an hourglass shape is a little more intense than just making fun of her fucking shoes. And even that is not as intense as just straight up telling her, you know, you have the most kissable lips I've ever seen. Instant sexual tension. The moment you say something that is massive sexual risk, boom, sexual tension. That's just the difference, you know, if you want to call it that. She's kind of bipolar. I don't get her. In real life, she chats to me first and smiles and stuff. She's not bipolar. You're confusing hot and cold behavior for being bipolar. If you really want to think about it like that, then every girl is bipolar, right? Like, no woman is permanent in her emotions. That's the beauty of women. They go from hot to cold. They go from happy to sad to confused to angry to elated to excited. Like, they're all over the place with their emotions. And if she in the morning is nice to you and then in the afternoon is pissed at you, that's no fault of your own. It's okay. Don't be mad and don't call her or label her bipolar. It's not. You're not going to do yourself any favors by doing that. Just accept them for what they are. They're women. It's how they move, all right? Are bullies provider types if they only target someone extremely smaller than them, physically, socially? Yes, type shit. Because there's no risk associated with that. Fighting someone that you know you can beat, no risk associated with that type shit. Hey Jace, because of where I live, even ugly girls say no to me. Is there another fucking Profilo? Why is there 2 Profilos? That's so interesting. Okay, there's a second Profilo. We gotta keep that in mind. Ugly girls say no to you, it's effed up, but now I'm gonna go far where I'm considered or even like to win. Right now, just speaking and improving my mouthpiece. Okay, that's good. I will give you some bad news though. if girls were rejecting you where you were before, they're not gonna start accepting you when you go to a new place. I'm sorry. Take it from someone that's lived in multiple places, in multiple countries, multiple continents. If there's one thing you learn very quickly moving around that much, it's that you can never really outrun your problems. You can't. The passport bros will never admit this, but it's very true even for them. Right? You cannot outrun your problems. If you were having problems with women at home, you'll have problems with women abroad. So you should probably fix the problems before you move. Type shit. I've been saying type shit all day. Appreciate it, my G. You're right. I know. You're welcome. Is it a good idea to DM a chick you met in the gym? Yeah. Hold on. Did she give you her Instagram or Snapchat or whatever the fuck you want to use to DM her? Or did you just find it on the internet? If you just found it on the internet, that might be a little creepy, depending on the context. Didn't think Leon Edwards would lose so badly. Who did you have before the fight? Honestly, for me, it was a toss-up. To be honest. I knew that there was no way the fight was going to be a middle ground fight. It was either Leon was going to dominate him or he was going to dominate Leon. I was saying that the entire week. Like, it's going to be one person is going to look so good and the other person is going to look so bad. It's not going to be a, split decision type. Nah. And the reason for that is because of how contrasting their styles are. One is very, very dominant on the feet. The other is very dominant on the ground, right? So, if you watch the fight back, because I've watched it like a bunch of times now, because I like to study film. What really won Bilal that fight was the way he pushed the pace. I always say it. One of the greatest tells for who would win a fight or who's about to dominate in the fight is who gets to the center of the cage first. Learn that shit. It's very important. It's very important. Whoever controls the center controls the fight. So the moment the referee said, let's get it on, and Bilal sprinted to the middle of the fucking cage and pushed Leon back, I was like, oh shit. Oh no. Because now he's just going to spam the same move over and over and over again. Push him back, use some striking to distract him up top, shoot for the takedown every time. And that's literally what he did. He spammed the fuck out of that the entire night. Now, if it was Leon pushing the pace and it was keeping Bilal on the back foot, it would have been fine. And I still think if Leon, for whatever reason they have a rematch, Leon hopefully is smart enough to go, okay, just push the pace on him. Bilal can't fight going backwards. It's just that Leon never made him go on the back foot, except for once in the 5th round, right? When he started really pouring the elbows on him. Sure. But yeah, for the most part, it was just a matter of who would take control of that fight, and Bilal did. So shout out to him. Hanging out with 10s is so different compared to 7s. Hence, 4th, it's 10s only. Exactly. Now you guys you see, it's an entirely different world, isn't it? It's an entirely different world. Someone accused me one time of pedestalizing desirable women like 10s, and it's like, I'm not pedestalizing them. You don't get 10s if you pedestalize them. Duh. But you do have to appreciate the difference in their experience with the regular girl. Regular girls just don't have the 10 experience. That's why you can't relate to them the same way. So yeah, I'm happy you're seeing that now for yourself. Jace, do you know that baddies and guys who are discipled? Is that what you mean? Really motivate me a lot. I don't know what that word means, but if it motivates you, hell yeah, go for it. Motivation isn't a bad thing as long as you channel it in the right direction, right? If you don't give them the attention they want, by let's say looking at her repeatedly, will it help? And in an approach, is that what you mean? Like not giving them the attention they want. They have to earn it. Don't look at it like you have to withhold the attention indefinitely. Give them the attention, like eye contact, touching, all that stuff, when they've earned it. Like, pair your attention with a reward for her compliance. That's how it should be working. So use your eye contact when she says something about herself. or divulges information about herself that you genuinely find interesting, then you look her directly in the eyes and be like, oh, that's very interesting. I like that about you. Right? That's how you should be pairing it. Okay? From what I've seen, Izzy is good on being on the back foot and switching the dynamic. Type shit. Izzy is very good. He is great on the back foot. The one time I've seen it not work for him correctly is fighting Sean Strickland. And that's part of why he lost so badly. Because Sean isn't like everybody else when he's pushing the pace. People think of Sean like a Paulo Costa type that just like marches forward, or like an Alex Pereira type. They're not quite the same. Sean is very intelligent about keeping a certain distance even when he's pushing you to the, making you go fight on the back foot, right? Sean knows how to stay the correct distance, and he knows how to shoot things down the middle, right? Plus, his defense is like the best in striking, right? You can't touch the guy. You cannot touch the guy. So, yeah, he knows how to shut off everything. Plus, with Izzy, and this, I'm happy he fought Sean. I'm really happy he did, because I've always said it for years. At some point, he's going to find someone that's going to shut off his front game. Izzy's one of those fighters, we call them rhythm fighters, right? They require a set of conditions to be able to start fighting. My two favorite of all time are Izzy and Chito Vera. They're amazing rhythm fighters, but they require a rhythm. They require a few things to go well for them to be able to make their reads and start getting into a flow. With Izzy, it's his jab. If you take away Izzy's jab, he's kind of fucked, because his vision, ironically, isn't the best. There's some guys that can touch you without needing to feel for you first. Izzy is not one of those guys. He needs to touch you first. How long have you been live? Well, I just got here like 20 minutes ago, I think, guys, right? Maybe 30 minutes ago. How are you doing, though, Dimitri? But yeah, Izzy needs to touch you first to be able to find you. Chito Vera needs to touch you first before he can find you too. But real good fighters, they can find you without needing to touch you first. Like a Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius has amazing vision. He doesn't need to find you with a jab first. He can just find you. He will find you. So a lot of Izzy's game revolves around the jab. If the jab is shut off, the rest of his game can't get off. He's not gonna land it. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Chito Vera is the same way too. Chito Vera is a little more dependent. He needs his jab to land, he needs his leg kicks to land, and he needs his shots to the body to land. If he doesn't have a good 3-point of contact from the person, the entire length of the person, he's not going to be able to touch him. Like, his vision just isn't that good, you know? God is good, bro. Been a lovely week. Me too, man. I'm exhausted as fuck, but I'm happy with the way things have been going, you know? Let's see. How to deal with girls acting hot and cold. You don't deal with them. You let them be. You accept them for what they are, and you just make sure you push the pace for your own self. Like, don't think about it like a problem to solve. A girl acting hot and cold is not a fucking problem. It's not. Just keep doing what you want to do. You'll be fine. And she'll eventually come around to you. So just give it time. Don't think about it like it's something I gotta do about. No. It's just girls, you know? By the way, I feel like compliments increase tension as well. I gave a girl a compliment yesterday. I could clearly see her getting tense. That's because you had already established, superior or higher psychological positioning, right? If you're just a regular guy giving her a compliment, she's not going to care. If you're a guy that she sees as a source of validation, giving her validation, it's going to feel good. Yeah. It's going to feel like, ooh, I'm getting something nice here. It's the same. Oh, okay, the same profile. You just change your shit. No, Jace reject me. Don't even rate me because I'm black. Bro said you turned black and started getting rejections. That's hilarious. But nah, I still love your profile. It's fine. How to get an X back. I have an entire course about that. Link in bio. So the free course has the value transaction and demonstration in it, or what course is it? That's the interview, not the free course. It's the interview that has all that stuff. Oh, that makes sense. Sexual tension might have been another thing that wasn't so obvious to us, but to you, type shit. But yeah, sexual tension is just a specific kind of tension, but it's a different type of tension than like regular anxiety or fear, you know? Be first, be aggressive. Yes. I one fight I like to watch every single time right? Just to remind myself of what a good fighting strategy should look like and how you should make adjustments as you go. I love to rewatch. I've probably seen this fight like, not exaggerating, at least 40 times. The Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather fight. The bigger, stronger, marauding Mexican front-footed guy versus the slick guy that can fight on the back foot. And then what did he do? Because everyone thought he's just going to run the entire fight. Nope. Stay right in his face. He pushed him on his back foot. The guy who everyone thought was going to do the dancing stayed in his fucking face, stayed in Canelo's face, made him fight off the back foot, and Canelo was uncomfortable there. So he pieced him apart. It's a great fight to watch whenever you want to think about how to be aggressive the right way. And, I love those moments where he's pinning Canelo against the cage. MMA, sorry. Pinning Canelo against the ropes, right? Notice how he never goes in. He never finds the pocket. He never does any type of inside work with Canelo. He stays on the outside. He picks him apart from the outside. He taps, boom, power shot, tap, boom, power shot, boom to the body, step back again, tap, boom, right? He was picking his shots from outside at range. He never lets Canelo get back in the fight, not one time. Beautiful fighting, man. That's exactly what a good fighting philosophy should look like. How do you conquer the loneliness that comes from long-term self-improvement? You find other people that are doing it with you. That's one way. But second, you fall in love with the loneliness. You don't conquer it. It's not a problem. It's just you're not used to it yet. I personally like the loneliness aspect of self-improvement. I like the point of separating yourself from the world and just finding your own, your own space, your own universe, having actual communication with your own God, and just allowing your consciousness to experience itself in a way it's never done before. That's a good thing. I don't see it as a bad thing. The only time loneliness or being alone feels like loneliness is when you begin to compare yourself to other people or miss other people and whatever value you think you're getting out of them. Me personally, I never missed that shit. Like, I like the idea of being alone. I love being alone. Being alone is awesome. I have to force myself sometimes to go and, be with other people or talk to other people, and my girlfriends, they always need attention and shit. But being alone is fucking awesome. I've really come to fall in love with it. And I just feel like a lot of people need to stay alone long enough to fall in love with it too. It's great. When people with power spare you, jiu-jitsu mainly, it teaches you to also not abuse the power. Yes. A good teacher is one that lets you know they can kill you whenever they want, but they choose not to because they have the choice to. You have earrings in a Nigerian home. Damn. Yeah. Not that I guess you can call my home a Nigerian home, but, I'm not with my family anymore. With that said, though, it was a big uproar when I got these, for sure. For sure. I love my lonely times. The wedding yesterday run me dry as fuck. Exactly. Now, you've gone to the wedding. You've had to deal with people you don't even fucking care about. Now you got to find your own personal space and just, enjoy yourself for a little bit because you missed yourself, It's a good thing. Since you were spared too. Like, people showing you mercy? True. I've been in a bad mood, angry for the past 3 days. Any tips to get in a better mood? Didn't I already answer that one yesterday? Outrun? I taught you guys how to literally flood your own brain with serotonin, because happiness is a choice. Happiness is a fucking choice. It's a choice you have to make consciously. It's not something you're like. If I can tell you to go fucking do something that makes you happy, go to an amusement park. Go play a video game. Go, I don't know, whatever. Go fishing if that makes you happy. The problem with doing those things is that now you rely on external things for your happiness. You need to decide to be in a good mood right now. And yes, it's really that easy. And you don't need medication for it. It really is that easy. Just decide right now you want to be happy. And you will be. Have you seen the movie Split? Parts of it, but not the whole movie. Yeah. Yeah, you sat up and laughed like a maniac. Yes, I did. By the way, do you think we mess up sometimes because we treat a 6 like an 8 because we think of her as an 8 type shit? Especially when you're starting out and you don't have a good reference for what an actual beautiful woman looks like. or there's a part of you that calls women beautiful, not because they're actually beautiful, but because they're attainable to you. Yeah, we definitely fuck up and do that. And then we allow these sixes to think that they have more power over us than they actually do. I like talking to myself about what I'm going to do, what I think it helps me stay motivated. Good, me too. I don't know if you heard the news, but what are your thoughts on Lamine Yamal's girlfriend cheating on him? I've been hearing the things about him, like he's one of those guys that played in a tournament recently, and his girl cheated on him. I don't know the entire details of it. I don't know, like, how old is this kid? What's about it? Who did he cheat on? Who did she cheat on him with? Sorry. There's a lot of stuff to know and find out. I don't know. I'm not, like, too versed on it. Pointers, please? Should I feel guilty for sleeping with a married woman as a Christian? No, not really. The guilt is how the devil traps you, right? Is how the devil begins to hold you down and tell you, you're a bad person, you're a sinful sinner, you're going to hell. Jesus didn't come to preach hell. He came to preach salvation. Remember that. So don't ever feel guilty about that stuff. Besides, if the marriage was really important to her husband, he would have done things to make sure his wife didn't treat him like that. You know. Let's see. I gotta go soon, guys. What's your favorite way to fight? I like counter-striking, sweeps, pushing, or creating mistakes. I love creating mistakes. Ironically, my best way and my favorite way to do that is pushing the pace, like being front-footed. I actually fight very well off the back foot, but I keep that one, like, that's between you and me, right? Here's my entire thing. This is my ideal, like, fight. This is how it'll look like. If we're talking about just striking, right? It'll be me pushing the pace, covering up the entirety of the center space, making them backpedal, making them try to fight me off the back foot, getting their back to the cage. Then, this is the key part. I'm going to give them a bit of a sense of urgency. I'm going to start picking up the pace slightly whenever their back is to the cage. To the layman, to the untrained eye, like the casual fan, it'll look like I'm trying to finish him off on the cage. That's what it'll look like. But that's also what they'll feel like. And my plan is to give them just enough distance while I'm doing that. And it's always usually some flashy shit, right? I'm hitting shots to the body, leg kicks, question mark kicks, axe kicks. I might do a spinning back heel kick. I don't give a fuck, right? Just to make them feel like I'm really going for a flashy finish. Here's the plan, though. It's going to get them just agitated enough to make them want to blitz towards me. When they blitz, I step back. I have a really good step back. I plant and I counter. That's where knockouts come from, at least for me, right? I get them to make that mistake of, I got to do something, get out of here. I'm going to blitz towards him. And usually they leave their chin just hanging out there whenever they come out of there. And I backpedal. I kind of take off on an angle, right? Because I want to get like that clear path and that open space right there, that opening for just the tip of the chin. Because they'll be going in like this. If I can catch them on the side, it'll look like this to me, right? This is what it'll look like, and I'll be right there. And then it's just a matter of wait for that hand to drop, plant my feet, like chamber and angle my hips towards them, leave the hand there, and boom, they're done. They're done. But I gotta get them panicking like that first, though. So a lot of my game revolves around, like, overstimulation. I really want to catch them in that moment where they really feel trapped. Right? I'll do weird shit in the cage. Like, I'll be doing wingspan stuff. Like, I'll just do like this in front of them sometimes. And it's like, why? Because I want them to really feel trapped. If they see my wingspan and, they're like this, my hand is going all the way here and here, I might feint like I'm about to use my legs to do stuff. Even though all my body is right here, they're going to feel like an invisible force of I can't get past this spot with him. And that's where I just, I eat good off of that, man. I fucking eat good off that. Sometimes it's a counter strike with like a actual punch, maybe like a right cross. Sometimes it's a flying knee, depending on how much distance I have to cover when I'm going backwards. I did hit a guy one time with like a spinning heel kick to the body. That one scared me because he was on the ground for a few minutes. I hit him square in the fucking solar plexus, like knocked the wind out of him. But yeah, that's exactly how I like to do about it. I'm not a fighter. I'm good at precise punching, meaning timing and power, not on uh, the where it lands. That's funny. So you're good at the timing and the power behind it, but your accuracy is off. Is that what you're saying? What do you think? What do you think about all fizz videos online? I'm a black guy in a racist country that can't work. All fizz? Who's all fizz? I don't know what that is. What is that? Oh, we got dark profiling now for real though. Let's see. Find out by making you rich to get my little shorty back type shit. I mean, it's inexpensive. Trust me. That's not the courses aren't what makes me rich. If that's what you're wondering. How you get rich, and this is like really good advice. Keep this between us, right? How you get rich is solve very specific problems for very specific people. All right? You don't get rich off of selling courses. Like, that'll give you some good money. But if you want to get rich, you solve very specific problems for very specific people. All right. Fighting is very difficult. You can't have all your points into one thing. Defense, offense. Exactly. You kind of got to spread it. And depending on what you choose to focus on, you got to, like, sacrifice some other things. But, work with what you got, man. A lot of my game revolves around, I'm going to be honest with you, and it's low-key not a good thing. But a lot of my game revolves around the fact that I do have the touch of death. I know that if someone blitz on me and I hit that counter at the right time, they will fucking fall down and they're not gonna get back up. A lot of my fighting style revolves around my confidence, around my power. You know what I mean? So do with that information what you must. You know? Let's see. Hey bro, I seen you in the last night's House of the Dragon episode. Congrats. I'm guessing there's an actor in there that looks like me. Now I'm gonna have to figure it out. What'd you call it? A Knight's House of the Dragon? We're gonna have to figure what the fuck that is. Figure that out. Oh, I'm still rendering. Alright, I'll do that later. We know how you getting rich, bro, or at least I do. type shit. You do. I mean, my boys in the group chat, and my mods, they know what's going on behind the scenes. But I can confirm he has other ways of getting to get rich. He ain't capping. Let's see. There we go. That's where I was. Hey, I'm trying to build my IG like a street guy, but sweat hard, kind of like Chris Brown. What are we talking about? A protector who sings and dances. It's kind of tough to do. Tips. You can show your talent on your IG. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it helps you. What makes you a protector type is the way you conduct yourself on your IG. Is like the you can be a singing and dancing guy, but you can also, find other ways to show that you are not a punk type shit. I love being alone too. I'm scared I'll like it too much. I'll go crazy. I feel you. And me personally, I'm already crazy, so this might be just a crazy man's advice, but go crazy. Do it. Who wants to be normal, bro? Who wants to be sane? The crazy is where the life is lived. All right, that's where the fucking dope shit happens, is in that world that you discover when you're alone. You know what I mean? Where'd you pick the earrings from? That's a good ass question. I got a bunch. I got a fucking box of them. I'll be buying. I low key at one point had like a jewelry addiction, so I would just find stuff online and buy. But a lot of the jewelry I wear I actually get from other people, especially my girls. So these ones in particular I actually got from my girl for my birthday, like the gold ones in front here. These ones, these are actually, I actually have a video of me receiving them because she recorded it while I was opening them up my gifts. And yeah, I get a lot of the stuff I get from the people in my life that truly love and appreciate me. And I love and appreciate them. What do you think about Zerka's game? It's pretty dope. It's pretty good. A lot of it only work for him, obviously, but it's pretty fucking good. Let's see. Get the likes of 10K. I'm about to leave, so don't even bother with that, guys. It's fine. Thanks for the shout out, though, Dim. I ordered the 50th Law after your explanation yesterday. Do you think it will help with game? Absolutely. It'll help with life, honestly. While you're at it, please read Outwitting the Devil. Like, it's a very important book. I always talk about it, and I actually just reread it too, so it's very, very important. Okay. Let's see. Jay's about to go see Long Legs with that John Jones I build. I do have a John Jones build. You think he and I are related? Because I do find it weird how we think very similarly sometimes, and we just happen to look the same, like physically. That does bother me. Low key. His wife has the same features as one of my girls too. I'm very concerned about that. Amen, brother. Thank you. They were going steady for a while, and when he won the Euros, he popped her out to the public. Big mistake. Then recently, she was at a party in some dude's lap when a guy beside them was live. Sounds about right. No vetting, no higher psychological positioning, terrible. I'm gonna guess it's a young guy. This sounds like a young guy mistake, like a guy under the age of 24. There's a reason you have to make girls earn that spot with you in the spotlight. Motherfuckers really think there's a reason, like, I'm just trying to be weird when I, like, have all my girls in the background. Like, they'll talk, but in the background away from the camera. You think I'm doing that shit for no reason? You think I'll just be like, guys, girlfriends? Like, no, they have to go through a process. There's a process to that shit. There's a training. Motherfuckers don't get that. Like, you gotta train these bitches, guys. So he made the classic mistake of, I want to show the world off. I want to show off my hot girlfriend to the world. Yay! Woohoo! He's 17. Makes sense. Makes fucking sense. Of course he is. Dumbass fucking mistake. You're a rich dude. You've played all this soccer. You're successful. You have a girlfriend that's in your life more than likely because she wants a winner. And congratulations, you're a winner. But you didn't do a proper vetting. You didn't do a proper... You gotta make these bitches go through a process. It's an initiation process so they can appreciate it when they get to that point with you. Can't just like, yay, girlfriend. Now she's out here embarrassing you. For what? Easily avoidable mistake. Fucking easily avoidable mistake. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's see. Do you read into Islam? Any Islamic game you can give? Nah, not really. You guys know my rule. I don't talk about stuff that I don't know about. I can't sit here and talk about anything I don't know about. Basically, I already read that one. Your mom unfollowed the girl after that, so yeah, not that much information. He's a G for that. He's not a G for that. Sure, unfollow her, but at that point, it's just a safe face. You know what I mean? Like, the damage is done. The world knows you're the kind of guy to choose a woman that doesn't respect you. Damage is done. It's like with Johnny Depp, right? Oh, I'm going to take this woman to court and sue her. Cool. The world is on your side now. Everyone's calling her Amber Turd. But we know you're the kind of guy that allowed a woman to shit in your bed. We know. It's too late. Oh, I want to partialize now and be a tough guy. Useless. How old are the oldest guys you mentor? What does age have to do with experience in women? Age? Well, the assumption is, okay, first of all, I literally coach people from as young as 18 to as old as 55. My oldest, and also, no, not surprising, my richest client, and he's up there. I think he turns 56 in a couple months. I gotta remember. Because if anyone's gonna give him a birthday gift, I am, right? But yeah, he's 56. And then I wouldn't call him a student, but he's a guy that would call me from time to time, like, hey, Jason, let's chop something up. And he's well into his 60s, right? So, yeah, game is for everybody. Let's get that out the way. Because when you need help with something and you find a guy on the internet that can help you with it, it's a no-brainer. Give me a call. With that said, though, the assumption is the older you are, the better at game you are supposed to be. Like, that's the assumption. If you're older, you're supposed to have hit by now a few certain benchmarks with regards to women and honestly other areas of your life. So, because of that, and because that's the assumption, women in general are a lot less forgiving of older men. A lot less. The kind of mistakes that a 21-year-old dude can get away with a woman, a 41-year-old dude is going to get severely punished for. Like, severely punished. Like, we're talking about bro with the soccer thing. Like, he'll get forgiven. He'll be fine. He'll go through a good 2 or 3 months of just pain or whatever. But ultimately, he'll still have girls that'll be like, fuck it, I still want him. He's clearly not that much of a leader as a man, but whatever. He can learn under my tutelage or whatever. If he was 41, or not even 41, if he was 27, making that same kind of mistake, shit. Ooh. You don't get to make that mistake, that kind of mistake, after a certain age. Now, imagine if he's 35, like he's supposed to be in his prime, 35, making that same kind of mistake. Right? To give you a parallel to make it make sense to you, it's like a 21-year-old working at a pizza parlor, right, as like a pizza delivery boy, versus a 31-year-old working as a pizza delivery boy. Yes, I'm sure there's a lot of 31-year-old pizza delivery dudes out there. But the point is, for you to be that old, which by the way is like my age, around my age, right? I'm 29. For you to be that old and to still be making college kid money, that means something went severely wrong in your progression. Because by now, the expectation is you should have been doing a lot better than college kid money. Do you get the point? That's the exact same kind of thinking, but with game. There's certain things and stages and mistakes you just shouldn't be making by now at that age. Like, what? Nah, something's off. Right now, so that's how it relates. But he's a kid, he's gonna fuck up type shit. How would you go about having a girl in the limelight as you have multiple others? Is discretion the way to go about it? Yeah, I mean, up to a certain point, right? Again, just make sure these girls are worth standing in the limelight with you. Like, it's a training process. These girls have to understand what comes with being in the limelight with you, because it's a responsibility, right? So train them. Make them understand it. Whenever I think about stuff like that, I always think about Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is one of the best examples of that because he did everything correctly. His girl, what's her name, Dee Devlin, she didn't start coming on stage with him, coming into the octagon with him, having press conferences with him, or walking through the tunnel into his locker room before fights with him, up until like a good 3 years into his career. 3-4 years. Then it was like, okay, cool. She's used to it. She understands what comes with it. Cool. This is my girl, Dee Devlin. Up until then, she was a fucking secret. No one even knew if he had a bitch in his life. You know, the first time anyone ever heard of his girl was when he was bragging about her when he had made like a crazy amount of money in one of his fights when he was still like starting out. And he was like, yo, my girl literally worked the entire time while I was pursuing my fighting dreams. Shout out to her. That was the first time anyone heard about her. Type shit. You know what I mean? This is true. Women are timing your progression. Exactly. So you gotta be very careful with that kind of shit. Let's see. What do you do for a living? This. I help the world in this way. I relieve men of the pain of not understanding how women work. That's my job. And it's a great job. I do believe most men start hitting their financial prime in their early 40s though. Most men. If you really master this finances part, well, you're gonna start doing really well financially way before that. Way before. I mean, okay, let me put it like this. It all comes down to when you start making real money, right? Depending on what your situation is, how your life is set up, what things you've gone through, and just in general, what kind of skills you've had and developed and how quickly you've decided to monetize them in your life, you're going to start making real money at a certain stage. From the point where you start making real money to the point where you enter your financial prime, because again, those are two different points, that will also determine, that'll be dependent on what you do with the money you make, right? Because that's what helps you hit your financial prime, is how well you manage the money, the real money you start making, right? I was early though. I entered the digital game early. Honestly, low-key, me too. I mean, not as early as most kids type shit. Like, I know people that have been dropshipping shit since 18, right? The guy who was dropshipping and failing at dropshipping at 18 is way ahead of the guy who is just now starting his first business at 35. And most people don't even think to start their first business until they feel comfortable from their job, which they usually won't get to until after the age of 30. You know what I mean? As opposed to those of us that are crazy enough to be like, oh yeah, we'll risk everything to start very young. Because we didn't have mommy and daddy to help us with like capital, you know? And that's the hardest part of running business, is that first 100K is a bitch, right? The first bit of leverage, financial leverage you need, is very hard to get because you have to do it manually yourself. You don't have any leverage to, you know, get that for you. But yeah, point is, it depends on how early you start. And if you start early, then you get there earlier, type shit. Let's see. Who do you think can defeat Islam? In the lightweight division, it's still gonna be Charles. Honestly, I still believe in Charles. Arman Saryukin could have too, even though he lost to Islam before. But he's developed and gotten way better. But he's suspended now, so that's kind of out of the picture. Who in the lightweight division really? If it's not Charles, I don't really know who else. Charles has the easiest part to beating Islam. He needs to find that guy on the ground and hit him with a heel hook, a knee bar, something. It has to be something that targets the legs. The thing about Sambo guys in general, and just wrestling people in general, is that they have a massive weakness when it comes to defending leg-related attacks. Jiu-jitsu-based leg-related attacks. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing down there. Right, and if you go back and watch the first fight between Islam and Charles Oliveira, there's some time in the first round where Charles begins to attack the legs, and what does Islam do? He completely disengages from the ground. He gets up. Right, so they have that weakness, and again, Charles is the only person I can think of that can exploit that weakness. So it's really just him. Hopefully, Charles gets his shit together and, you know, does the job. Is grappling your bane or kryptonite then? Since it takes away from your main leverage, that right hand? No. If anything, grappling helps me accentuate it because I have this right hand. Guess what my ground and pound looks like? So all I got to do is get you in a certain position on the ground, which I'm very good at. Like, my grappling in terms of like keeping people down is like Khabib level. I literally copy Khabib. One thing I'm known for in my gym is how I leg wrap. You know how Khabib likes to wrap people's legs in his legs? That's my shit. I'm good. I leg wrap, I hand trap, I control the far side wrist, I pull it towards myself, they fall down, and then from then on, it's just pinning with my knee, ground and pound. This shit hurts every time now because of all the practice I do with it, but yeah, my ground and pound is nasty. It's fucking ridiculous. I sound like I'm sucking my own dick. Pause, indeed. Pause. But yeah, the grappling just makes my right hand scarier because then I can really hold you down. Pause. Let's see. I'm gonna do it. Please do. If we all ever meet, we gotta spar. Oh hell yeah! I've already promised Nep we're gonna fucking roll together. Me and Nep. Pause, of course. I have to finish you off. I can just tell you're good at grappling too, by the way, for Jami. I get why you say if a girl cheats on you, it's always your fault. Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, it's always your fault. It really is. Like, you control her wandering eyes. If her eyes are wandering, it's your fault. Right? Because it's going to come down to you and the way you conduct yourself or how safe she feels in the relationship. If she doesn't feel safe in the relationship, Guess whose job it is to make her feel safe. So yeah. If I go to 215, I'll look like Daniel Cormier. Then don't go to 215. You're a 135 type of guy, right? That's where you got to cut down the fight, right? Bantamweight. Fight at 135. Nothing wrong with that. Game is for everybody. I love that. We love you, man. I love you too. I feel like these celebrities allow this behavior to happen to them because they're scared. It's fear part of it, but also they just lack experience, man. A lot of the time, someone has to tell you you're fucking up for you to know you're fucking up. You know what I mean? Most of the time, most people don't know. I gotta go soon. I have to go like right now. All right, let me scroll through these. They really know what to do deep down. I feel like we all do. I feel like if you listen to yourself closely enough, you'll know what to do. But for some of those things, especially like with conducting yourself in the public eye as a celebrity, that shit isn't natural. That shit isn't instinctual. You know, with the advent of the internet and millions of people watching you, yeah, that you might need like external coaching for. It might not always come to you naturally, you know? I don't know, for real, that wouldn't look good, indeed. Is this training of women in your course? Not quite yet, no. That's an entirely different course. That's back-end stuff. That's something I'm creating in the background. Slowly, to be honest, very slowly, but I am. Let's see. Would you say that a man's word is taken more seriously than a woman? Absolutely, because even women don't trust each other, right? I was literally talking about this with one of my girls the other day. Like, she was saying, whenever she's with her girlfriends and they want to, you know, go anywhere and they want to pick each other's clothes out, she'll ask her girl, do you want me to wear maybe blouse or dress A or B? If the girlfriend picks A, she'll go with B. Because instinctively, even they know, yeah, my girlfriends don't have the best interest for me. Like, I can't trust what they say. They're feeble creatures. They're fickle. So, yeah, even girls know this. Yeah, most people don't have that risk tolerance. Indeed. First 100K is hard as fuck. A bitch. Fuck, man. Could cry thinking about it. How you know about the grappling, or was it a joke? Oh no, you've been talking about grappling the entire time. I know how good you are. I can smell it. You're good. A girl claim it's because of men. They don't trust each other, and by letting that go, they will ascend. Type shit. It's not even from incompetence; it's from malicious intent. You can think about it like that too. Like, yeah, they're maliciously, doing that. But anyway, I gotta go, guys. I got to bounce. I gotta go. I love you guys so much. I fulfilled my promise and said I'd be here, so I was here. I couldn't stay here as long as I like to, you know. I'll try to be here earlier tomorrow, you know, and I will be here tomorrow. So I'll just try to be here earlier tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Please actually practice all this game I give you. Use it in your life and see results for yourself. And please just use the free shit. Like, literally, I have so much free resources. Use that, see the results you're getting, then decide to invest your money. But seriously, the free shit is amazing anyway. So go for it. Love you guys. I appreciate you. All the links in the bio for like the free course and all that. And do with all this information what you must.